short biography. I'm the author of over 185 articles on metapsychology, transpersonal studies, and the history of Western esotericism. I also have 2 poetry collections, Origin of 50 Confessions, a literary collection entitled Hermetica, Myths, Legends, Poems, 11 literary awards, including the 2001 and 2010 National Best Book Awards by USA Book News, as well as over 180 educational videos on YouTube. Currently, I'm attempting to harness a more adequate view of the nature of mind with the mind machine experiments. The latest of these, Dreaming Without My Timekeeper, a critical investigation into precognitive dreams, is a comprehensive empirical study in which I establish a strong case for precognition, loosely grouped under the title of PSYCH by modern science, as an authentic and normative aspect of human consciousness. If you want to know more, please visit my website at www.kiritsis.com. The first poem I'm going to present to you today is a love poem. It's called Soulmates. Soulmates, I've sent you a glorious rosebud, one that emerged from the African wilderness, the most scarlet, robust, the plumpest of all. Its snowy lips leave me panting for breath. Its sweaty scent chars my loins like lava. Fine-stemmed and lean, it roared through Hades and into the land of the living. Like a blonde lion, it came forth from amidst an entangled web of toxic leaves. A bolt of aching love in the milky sea of unlikelihood. And thou didst give light to my soul, till then wrapped in darkness. My second poem is called Treasure Hunt, and it's a bit of a rant, so you will excuse some of the language. Just look at you, typical candidate of vainglory. Stop looking for the tomb of Christ and Turin shrouds and that precious holy grail, you stupid archaeologist. Your peers go on fool's quests for Aztec tombs, Inca treasure, and those 7 cities of gold. Do you really think you'll end up with money brimming from your pockets, a nice girl by your side, that Ferrari you always wanted, and your pretty boy face shining like $1 million on the History Channel? Do you expect them to painstakingly document the life of the orphan child who came from nowhere to become a global superstar crap? There's some fungal megalomania growing in your cerebral cortex. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Your strings are being pulled by significant others, and you'll only ever shine for as long as the brain police so desire. It seems fantasy is nothing but a guilty pleasure, so someone has got to stop that hero virus with its fedora and bullwhip from replicating, because Robert Langdon and Indiana Jones can only dodge cops and solve riddles in pop fiction flicks. Don't you dare believe a word they hand-feed you in the media about the truth of it all, boy. Just ask poor Howard Carter if it's all lovey-dovey, or if he ended up with Sophie Neveu and a peace of mind after he set loose Pandora's box in 1922. And whilst we're on the subject of post-Tutankhamun, would you please stop to think why those prissy necrophile Egyptians would have buried their dead as if a tornado from Texas had just been through? While we're on the subject of archaeological enigmas, why would the Prince of the Lilies be wearing a headdress reserved for a priestess? Trust Sir Arthur Evans to shed truth on that. We might not need satellite images or x-rays of Lord Elgin's intentions to see through to his "it was for the best" excuse when he took his balls back to England. If that's not enough ambiguity for you, we now have modern-day Atlanteans in the mix trying to flavour every discovery with a pang of New Age spiritual crap. And if it's not that, it's psychic astrologers recalling Lemuria and the lost telepathic abilities of its womenfolk. No, sweetie, you won't find Atlantis in Antarctica with those phony Mohammedan maps, but there might be many Dorothy Edys remembering past lives, betting pharaohs, or princesses trapped in some citadel if it gets them some attention at the hair salon next week, or perhaps a few minutes of fame on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I believe the Freemasons and secret societies know as much about the meaning of life as Chinese rug peddlers know about quadratic equations, and with Anna Hedges convincing herself of the legitimacy of her own big fat Greek lies, you too might be tempted to find your own crystal skulls under collapsed altars in a temple and then visit a psych ward to get over the guilty conscience of it all. Truly, why might you all be looking for charts and maps that will reveal hidden treasure? Is it about self-worth? Achievement maybe? I guess everyone's looking for something. Although only a tosser would have known there's no real value in matter, no matter how old. I believe one day you might just wake to a different angle of what you're seeking, which are meaningful patterns in this consciousness hologram of virtual reality, which we all agree is the cosmos defined. My last poem actually comprises the prologue and epilogue of my book 50 Confessions, and I wrote it when I was extremely sick. And we all know that creativity and illness go hand in hand. The Bible says, "Awake, O Proteus of all ill, the chaos being the demon, who changes shapeless form at will and imperils all brave seamen." Proteus says, "I am here, O captain of all dark. I hear your call to duty. This ship of pirates I'll embark to steal gold hearts and booty." The Bible says, "Were you aware 9 sons of might now spread the word by sea? A ploy of heinous Aphrodite to harden moral bleed." Proteus says, "She hopes to stamp out your intent, your yellow filth and bile. Appealed and hoped I would repent. She thinks me so ductile." Belial says, "Take pus and semen from my vein and call them out like ravens, to splatter the most lethal strain atop their claimed havens." Proteus says, "My mind is null, my hands are bound. If death is what you wish for, I chose the heavens as my judge. 12 stars I call to witness, that should my silent dagger speak against her best, her oldest, I'd spare the bravest that she'd seek, her best beloved, the boldest." Belial says, "Make of the clouds your flying steed, its range you'll weave from shark bite. Beseech the darkness not to seed, oblivion to starlight. Leave these mountains in your wake and leap the hills, be active. So hasten for your father's sake to bring that Simon captive. He lives on Higford Street, I know, a house with thorny roses. Make entrance from the duck below at dusk when he reposes. Please blend your seed into his spit. Be shrewd in blood, be clever. Then start to take him bit by bit and swallow him forever. You'll find him in his bed tonight, a child of 12 wee years, with Mother Mary to his right, who keeps at bay his fears. I'll do exactly as you state, unlike the rest who faltered, who went aloof-like through the gate and found the door well bolted." Belial says, "They dropped a rose there for a hook. Their plans were not forsaken. They knocked until the window shook. The brat did not awaken." Proteus says, "Fear not, I'll take that mortal man. I'll strike him mute and manic. I'll foil their God's eternal plan and roust all din and panic." Belial says, "Be sure to hunt for Solomon's key, which sank in the pelagic. They cure ailments by the threes through sorcery and magic." Proteus says, "A world well void of human trace is music to my ears. Entrust the fiends of our own race to rouse their morbid fears." And then, one last thing, and then what happens in the end? Proteus says, "Awake, O Lady of Green Stone, awake, for news awaits you, for I have brought you flesh and bone, your progeny, your children." Aphrodite says, "I curse the day the Lord gave sight to you, the hidden ferret, who raises with your skiff all night and quashes my trust, my merit. You made a solemn oath to me, why won't you keep your promise? You called our father as your judge, 12 stars you called to witness, that should your silent dagger speak against my best, my oldest. You'd bring the bravest son I seek, where is my ninth, my boldest?" Proteus says, "Don't raise your voice, O Aphrodite, O firm lord of Uranus, for in this juggled sea of mine, your Simon sleeps in silence. His eyes are lead, his will runs weak, in Hades an intruder. That cunning egregore you seek, your Matthew and my Judah." Apostolos says, "My mother, it is I, your son, your bravest of good measures, the one you sent so far away to bring back sunken treasures." Aphrodite says, "My son, where have your good looks gone? Your dark brown hair all faded." Apostolos says, "I fear I lost those years ago, all pallid now and jaded." Aphrodite says, "I smell the pride of Proteus, you reek of must of bridal. Your bloodshot eyes, your crumpled skin, my beauty they defile." Apostolos says, "Have you not heard a dead man sing, not heard of living mortar? For all I yearned for was a spring to put my lips to water." Proteus says, Forbidden knowledge you disclosed in 52 reactions, confess it all as vengeful lies, and I'll undo my actions. I took an oath not long ago to thrive in sin and pleasure, and split the silver cords of those who surmount wealth and treasure. Apostolos says, don't ask me how I know, O fiend, such things we must not question. That felt-tip pen of yours I used to hasten your detention. Aphrodite says, your talents are innumerable, your will a bar of iron, but heed my words, O Proteus, O morbid son of Priam. I bore 9 evil sons of flight. I have no others for you. That front of yours, the gallant knight, I know your real intentions. Do well to leave my sons alone, or you'll behold my fury. It matters not which ones you take, in time they'll be your jury. And in the end, vain Proteus, behind the veil and curtain, my Ennead will walk again, of that you can be certain. I'll raise my children from the ground when roses come to season. I'll call on powers dignified to fill their hearts with reason. As 9 wise men they'll rule the world, they'll open mind to travel. From deep inside the caves of earth, their third eye I'll unravel. Heed my words, old nemesis, O foremost of Belial. The mighty will and word of God cannot be put on trial. And when the golden age does dawn, I'll scribe in old world stillness to prove to you the sea and sword cannot be crushed by illness. And that concludes our presentation for today. I would like to thank everyone for coming, and I would like to conclude with the words, oral and written folklore, whether old or new, continues to influence and shape our lives unconsciously. It makes no difference whether the compositions originate in shamanistic cultures, in ancient Egypt, in classical Greece, medieval Europe, 16th century America, or contemporary Australia. They speak out under different guises, but always communicating the same morals and archetypal themes. It is to this world that we return to every night, the fluctuating realm of mythopoetic visions, dreams, and conscious imaginings. We all exist someplace there, in one of the verses of Homer's Iliad or Odyssey, singing against the silence and eternally balancing ourselves between reason